Hello and welcome to today's session. Before we begin, let me spark your curiosity. Have you ever wondered why a child who thrives in one subject struggles in other? Why do certain teaching methods work wonderfully for one student but not for other? What makes some educational reforms successful in certain regions but ineffective elsewhere? These are complex, real life questions, and yes, case study helps us explore them deeply and meaningfully. Today, we embark on a journey into the world of case studies, not just as a research tool but as a window into the lived experiences of learners, teachers, and institutions. A case study is an in depth investigation of a specific case. This case might be a person, a group of people, an organization, a process, or even a particular event. What makes the case study special is that it focuses on one unit, studies it over time, and observes it in its natural settings. This method is popular in subjects like education, psychology, sociology, public policy, health, and organizational studies. Unlike research that aims to find patterns across large groups, the case study is more about understanding the details of a specific situation. In our fast changing worldwide challenges like educational inequity, health disparities, and curriculum reforms, solutions are rarely one size fits all. We need contextual, nuanced, and human centered inquiry. That's where case studies shine. They allow us to explore phenomena through multiple lenses: historical, cultural, emotional, and cognitive, revealing insights that go beyond what numbers can tell. The case study is also one of the most popular methods in educational research, especially when analyzing the complexity of a specific situation or a setting. This method focuses on examining a clearly defined unit in the actual world, whether it be a person, a group, an organization, or a particular event. The versatility of case studies is what makes them particularly useful in the classroom. To get a more complete picture of what's actually happening, researchers can employ a variety of techniques such as document reviews, classroom observations, interviews. Much of the foundation for the current understanding and application of case studies has been established by renowned academicians. According to Yin, a case study is an empirical inquiry that investigates a contemporary phenomenon with its real life context, especially when boundaries between phenomenon and context are not clearly evident. This definition captures the essence of why case studies are so valuable. They help in understanding not just what is happening but also why, how it unfolds within its actual settings, highlighting how it allows researchers to uncover meaningful insights into teaching methods, student behavior, and institutional practices. Rather than being a single method, the case study is a holistic strategy weaving together interviews, observations, document reviews, and much more to truly grasp the richness and complexity of educational experiences. Coming to key characteristics of a case study. Case study research holds a unique and powerful place in educational studies, primarily due to several defining features that set it apart from other methodologies. Number 1. Comprehensive and in-depth. Case studies gather a lot of qualitative and occasionally quantitative data in order to develop a thorough understanding of a specific case, which could be a student, instructor, class, or school. This enables a thorough investigation of interactions, experiences, and behaviors that are challenging to record using more general survey techniques. Number 2. Contextual analysis. The focus on the case's context is an essential component of case studies. Context is essential to interpretation because educational psychology frequently examines the ways in which social, cultural, environmental, and institutional factors affect behavior and learning. Coming to the next, several data sources. A variety of data collection techniques including observations, interviews, psychological assessments, document analysis, and even video recordings are frequently used in case studies. The findings are more thorough and reliable when several data sources are used. Descriptive, explanatory, or exploratory objective. Case studies can be descriptive to give a thorough description, explanatory to explain cause and effect linkages or processes within educational settings, or exploratory to study novel or ambiguous phenomena. Coming to adaptability and flexibility. Case studies give researchers the option to change their focus as new information becomes available during data collection, which is ideal for dynamic and complicated character of educational environments. Now, holistic approach. Instead of focusing on individual factors, this method considers the case as a whole. It incorporates a range of cognitive, emotional, social factors that affect psychological growth or educational results. Now coming to its practical utility. Case studies in educational psychology help develop theories, implement interventions, and solve real-world problems by highlighting individual differences and real-world intricacies that may be missed by standardized approaches. Defined time frame. Case studies may be conducted at a single moment in time, cross-sectional, or over an extended period, longitudinal. The choice depends on the nature of the research questions and what the researcher wants to uncover about change, process, or continuity. A guiding theoretical or conceptual framework. Many case studies are anchored in a specific theoretical lens that shapes how data is gathered and interpreted. For instance, a researcher might use Vygotsky's sociocultural theory to explore collaborative learning. These frameworks add depth and direction to the study. Coming to the types of case studies. Based on the purpose of the study, several case studies are employed for various objectives. Analysis of issues within the confines of a particular organization, setting, or circumstance is the primary goal of case studies. The researcher and the topic of the study determine many parts of a case study, including data collection and analysis, qualitative research questions. Now coming to next case, illustrative case study. This kind illuminates a more general problem, idea, or theory by using a single well-selected case. What the case tells about something bigger is the main focus, not the case itself. For instance, examining the inclusive education practices of a specific school may provide insight into broader systemic changes in inclusive practices throughout the educational system. The example turns into a tool or instrument for investigating more general issues. Now comes multiple case study. Here several cases are examined either simultaneously or in sequence to compare and contrast outcomes, themes or strategies. For instance, studying how different schools implement digital learning tools could highlight common challenges and successful strategies across contexts. Then we have intrinsic case study. The case itself is the main focus of intrinsic case studies. It is selected due to its vital importance, complexity, or originality. The objective is to gain a thorough understanding of that particular case, not to make generalizations about it. A thorough investigation of a child with a rare learning problem where the goal is to fully comprehend their unique experiences rather than extrapolating results to a broader population could serve as an excellent example of intrinsic case study. Now, exploratory case study. It is typically carried out prior to more extensive study. These kinds of case studies, which mostly concentrate on actual circumstances and contexts, are highly common in the social sciences such as political science. For a broad and integrate study, this approach is helpful in determining research questions and methodologies. Then we have critical instance case study. Critical instances case studies are used to determine the cause and consequence of an event. The main reason for this type of case study is to investigate one or more sources with unique interests and sometimes with no interest in general. Then we have descriptive case study. Descriptive case studies can be designed once you have a hypothesis. Finding links between a theory and the topic under study is its goal. These links allow the investigation to be concluded. Typically, the findings of a descriptive case study will offer suggestions for additional theory development. Then comes explanatory case study. This type looks into the cause and effect relations in the case. It is especially useful when figuring out how and why something happened. This is the aim of the study, examining how teacher professional development programs affect student involvement, for example, might highlight the fundamental factors driving change. Then comes embedded case study. An embedded case study looks at the case's internal elements or subunits in addition to the main case. This method's capacity is to disclose the dynamics and interconnections within integrate systems. A case study of a school may involve subunit analysis of its departments, students, faculty and leadership, all of which add to a broader understanding of the organization. Then comes instrumental case study. Instead, then analyzing a single instance for its inherent uniqueness, an instrumental case study focuses on it primarily to test and build theoretical constructs or to shed light on bigger issues. Instrumental case studies evaluate a case as indicative or illustrative of a larger class of phenomena or educational issues. In contrast to intrinsic case studies, which examine a case for its own interest or distinctiveness, This enables educational psychologists to investigate, clarify, or inform broad educational theories, methods, or policies through in-depth analysis of a person, classroom, or program. Based on subject, every case study fits into the subject categories. Person. This kind of study concentrates on a single issue or person, or may employ a variety of research techniques to ascertain its conclusion. Group. This kind of study considers a collection of people. This could be a family, group of friends, or co-workers. Then is location. The location is primary focus of this kind of case study. It also considers how and why individuals use the location. Then we have organization. A firm or organization is the subject of this investigation. Employees of the business or those involved in an event at the organization may also fall under this category. Event. The subject of this kind of case is a particular occurrence. It looks at how it impacts the environment and may be societal or cultural. Now, based on the case study design, the structure and investigation of a case are determined by case study designs. They differ according to the approach, goal, and focus. The typical case study design types are listed like this. Single case design. It concentrates on a single case in order to investigate it thoroughly and provide comprehensive insights. Perfect for unusual or special scenarios. Number 2, studying multiple cases, either concurrently or consecutively, allows for comparisons and the generalizations of results. Longitudinal case design. Longitudinal case design studies the same case over an extended period of time in order to track changes and developments. Retrospective case design. It examines past instances to examine results and identify trends or lessons. Embedded case design provides greater in-depth insights by incorporating several sub-cases or units of analysis within the main case. Now comes to the designing part. Designing a case study. Designing a study requires deliberate and structured planning. According to Yin, these steps are essential for designing a case study. Number 1, define the research questions. Case study research often addresses how and which questions which seek to explore causal paths, processes, and meanings within real life settings. These questions guide the selection of data sources and analysis approach. Number 2, select the case. Choose a case that is both accessible and aligned with the research purpose. Merriam recommends selecting a case that is information rich and allows for in-depth analysis. Then comes determine the case boundaries. Clearly define what will be included and excluded in the study, delimiting the study. This involves specifying the time frame, location, and scope of the study. Then choose the type of case study. Decide whether it will be exploratory, explanatory, descriptive, intrinsic, instrumental, based on the research objectives. Develop a conceptual framework. Anchor the study in theoretical and empirical literature. Frameworks such as Vygotsky's social constructivism or Kolb's experiential learning theory can guide both data collection and interpretation. Select data collection methods. Case studies often involve multiple data collection methods, including interviews, semi-structured or unstructured, observations, participant or non-participant, document analysis, school reports, student work, curricula, audio-visual materials, video recordings of classes or photographs. Plan data analysis. Align the analysis strategy with the research questions. Common strategies include thematic analysis, identifying patterns and categories in the data, narrative analysis, focusing on stories and sequences of events, pattern matching, comparing empirical patterns with predicted ones from theory. Ensure rigor and trustworthiness. Lincoln and Guba suggests 4 criteria for quality in qualitative case studies. Credibility. Establish truth value through triangulation and member checks. Transferability. Provides thick description so that others can determine applicability. Dependability. Ensure consistency through an audit trail. Confirmability. Maintain neutrality and minimize bias through reflexive practices. Address ethical considerations. Ethical planning should include obtaining informed consent from participants, protecting participant confidentiality and anonymity, ensuring voluntary participation, being transparent about the purpose and use of the research. Pilot study. A small-scale pilot study can help refine data collection instruments and ensure that questions elicit the desired depth of information. When carefully designed and ethically conducted, case studies offer profound insights into educational processes, practices and systems. They not only produce rich descriptions and analysis but also often lead to actionable recommendations and policy reform. Now coming to strength and weaknesses of case study. Practical use of case study. An essential connection between theory and practice is made through case studies. Students can apply theoretical information to real-world problems by immersing themselves in case studies. Now, skills for critical thinking. Critical thinking and well-informed decision making are necessary for case study analysis. Students gain the critical thinking, information evaluation and well-reasoned problem-solving skills that are necessary in both academic and professional settings. Then comes improved capabilities for solving problems. Complex issues that call for innovative and calculated answers are frequently presented in case studies. By taking on these challenges, students improve their problem-solving abilities and are inspired to think creatively and create practical solutions. Holistic understanding. Going beyond theoretical concepts, case studies provide a holistic view of a subject. Students gain insights into the multifaceted aspects of a situation, helping them connect the dots and understand the broader context. Exposure to diverse perspectives. Case studies often encompass a variety of industries, cultures, situations. This exposure broadens students' perspectives, fostering a more comprehensive understanding of the world and the challenges faced by different entities. Despite these strengths, case study research also has several limitations that must be carefully managed. Number 1. Limited generalizability. Because case studies concentrate on specific situations and people, it can be challenging to extrapolate results to larger populations. Bassi claims that the usefulness is in fuzzy generalizations, which might influence behavior in different contexts but cannot forecast it. Then is subjectivity and researcher bias. Subjectivity perceptions may result from researchers' intimate familiarity with the situation. When gathering and analyzing data, researchers may inadvertently impose their viewpoints. Therefore, it is essential to provide transparency and reflexivity. Then is extensive and protracted data collecting, which is required for case studies, which makes them time consuming and resource intensive. When there are multiple parties involved, this can be costly in terms of time, human resource and logistics. Then there is data overload risk. Extended participation and use of several data sources can produce large volumes of qualitative data which can be difficult to systematically arrange, assess and synthesize. Replication challenge. Case studies are hard to replicate since they are context bound and emergent. Different contextual elements and participant characteristics will yield different outcomes even when the same procedures are used. Now we have concerns regarding ethics and confidentiality. Managing sensitive data and maintaining participant confidentiality are made more challenging by vast and personal nature of the data collected, particularly in small or restricted communities. Then we have potential for researcher influence. Participant behavior may be influenced by a researcher, which could skew the results of an embedded study or participant observation. Then we have challenges in theory building. While case studies are a useful tool for illustrating theory, they are not well suited for developing new theories or examining causal linkages. Critics contend that they are frequently lacking the discipline necessary for development of sound theories. Notwithstanding these drawbacks, rigorous methodology, careful planning and triangulation techniques can greatly increase the reliability and applicability of case study. Coming to the conclusion, case study stands as a robust and flexible methodology that allows for in-depth investigation of complex educational phenomena. It focuses on real-life contexts and rich qualitative data, makes it invaluable for capturing the nuances of teaching, learning, administration and policy making. While it is not without limitations such as issues of generalizability and potential researcher bias, its strengths often outweighs the challenges when applied with rigor and ethical consideration. As educational systems continue to evolve, the case study approach remains vital for generating context-sensitive knowledge that can inform theory, practice and policy. Why case studies matter in educational psychology? Case studies are more than just stories. They are tools for insights, innovations and improvement. They help us dive deep into the messiness of educational life, not only to simplify it, but to understand and respond thoughtfully. Whether you are a teacher exploring your classroom practices, a policy maker seeking context-driven reform, or a researcher probing developmental challenges, the case study method offers clarity in complexity. In the field of education, where every learner every classroom and every experience is unique. Case studies remind us that sometimes the most powerful answers lie not in numbers but in stories. Thank you for joining us in this session. I hope you now see the case study not just as a research method but as a lens to see learning in all its depth, diversity, and dynamism. As you move forward, reflect on how your own educational setting could become a case worth studying. What stories are waiting to be explored? Stay curious, stay thoughtful, and keep learning. Thank you.